Hello there, woven web enthusiast. Today we have an 18-year-old kid that overheard his parents arguing when his mom said to his dad, "And to think you wanted to split up when I came back pregnant." And after the discussion escalated, she said, "What makes you think any of them are yours?" This post comes from Throwaway No College 01. He wrote in the Relationships Advice subreddit, "My mom had an affair 18 years ago, and I, an 18-year-old male, am the product of it. And my dad just told me he's not going to pay for my college, even though he paid for my two older siblings." OP writes, "Both my older brother and sister went to the same college. My brother graduated 2 years ago, and my sister set to graduate in 2 years. Both had their college paid for by our dad. Dad paid for all their expenses, rent, food, cars, pocket money, you name it. Now, I got accepted to the same college, which was always the plan, and I was looking forward to talking to my parents about the next steps, ask them help me the same way they did my siblings. And I always assumed they had the money put aside for my college the way they had for my siblings. Instead, I was met with a story about my mom's cheating, how I am the result of her cheating, and how my dad is not willing to support me anymore going forward. My dad told me that my mom has had 18 years to let me know and how to prepare for the future, but obviously she never did. He said it was never his place to say anything since I am not his son and didn't want to interfere with his mom's parenting. Apparently, my grandparents even know that I am not my dad's biological son, but they haven't bothered to tell me anything either. My siblings, they had no idea, and they are surprised as I am because there was never a hint of anything being off. Now, I might be naive, but I always thought I had a great relationship with my dad. He never treated me any different than he did my older brother and sister. And my mom has never said a word about any of this, and apparently, based on what my dad said, she was supposed to have talked to me, but she never did. Now, obviously, I'm feeling abandoned and unprepared for what lies ahead, and I'm not even sure if I will be able to go to college anymore. I always assumed my parents would pay for it. I've never had a job, and my mom now admits that I've been babied a little too much. I'm not sure what job I can even get to support me through college. I have no idea how to apply for loans, anything. Now, since all this has blown up, all my mom has done is cry and apologize, but nothing of substance. And right now, and perhaps I'm overreacting, I don't even know if I'm welcome in my home anymore. I don't know if I'm going to be asked to move out. I don't have any savings. I have maybe $400 to my name. And yes, I'm angry at my mom. I'm confused about where I stand with my dad. I feel rejected, and I have no idea what to do to fix this situation. Does anyone have any idea what to do here?" And for the response, a deleted account says, "Your talk with your father should be, 'Why am I being punished for my mom's actions?' And 'What the hell is wrong with you for letting me call you dad for 18 years and then dropping this on me?'" Hubcap Diamond writes, "It isn't your shame. Don't even think of picking that shit up and carrying it. They are in the wrong, not you. They should be apologizing to you. This is a fucked up thing to do to a person." And MYTay66 writes, "In regards to college, if it really breaks bad and your dad does not help, apply for emancipation. That way you'll qualify for grants and financial aid." And Defiant Crab writes, "Just out of curiosity, did you ever get a genetics test done? Do they know 100% that he's not your biological father?" And OP responds, "I don't know, but Dad seemed pretty sure of it, and judging by the reaction of my mother, it seems they both agree I am not his son." And Debonair Garbage writes, "You need to give your siblings a call and then tell us what they said." And OP responds, "I've only talked to them about me not being Dad's biological son. They don't know about the college thing yet. They're out of town for a few more days. I'm going to visit with them when they come home." P provides an updated post. He writes, "Things are more or less back to normal, if you will. Unfortunately, my grandfather died at the beginning of this week, and we are all still processing that. I did manage to talk with both my mom and my dad, and I do have some clarity. I think it's safe to say both my parents love me, and what happened 2 weeks ago was an overreaction to a fight between my parents. The conclusion is that I'm definitely going to college. It will be the college I've always wanted to go to, just like my brother and sister, and I'll have the same experiences as they did. The money to pay for all this already exists. My dad just had a little bit of a breakdown after the fight with my mom." And as a side note, even if my dad had gone through with his decision, my grandma just let me know that my grandfather left me and my siblings a sum, and we'll have to split it between the three of us, but it's enough to pay for my college. Some of you have asked how this all came out. It started like this. My parents were talking about us, their kids, and my mom said to my dad something along the lines of, and to think you wanted to split up when I came back pregnant, or something like that. I was not there. This is what she told me. And I guess my dad was talking about how proud he was of his children, and my mom wanted to express her gratitude for Dad raising me as his own. Unfortunately, my dad took it as the affair was the best decision I ever made, or something like that. And then the fight escalated from there, and my mom told my dad, "What makes you think any of them are yours?" I don't know why she said this, and I sure as hell don't know why she told me this. So yeah, it went downhill from there fast, and that's what ultimately led to Dad telling me he wasn't going to pay for my college. And yes, I have talked to my brother and sister about this, and my sister raised a storm and wrote it here while blasting my parents on the phone. My brother was calmer, but he made his feelings known in no uncertain terms as well once he got back home. Now, my dad is sorry. He's apologetic about his reaction and behavior, and I understand it, but I still feel hurt by it. She has not handled this very well, but she is coming around, and she has answered some of my questions. She said she had an affair and got pregnant with me, and this started a divorce in motion. My mom moved in with the guy she had an affair with, but after a few months, that guy decided he wanted nothing to do with it. Kicked my mom out. She had nowhere to go, so my grandparents, my dad's parents, took her in because she's still the mother of their grandkids. Ultimately, my mom and dad got back together, and after a lot of work, my dad took me in as his own, and that's been my life since. And as for the guy that's my biological dad, my mom says she hasn't seen him, heard from him, nothing, but he was fully aware that she was pregnant with me at the time, and he left. I guess he had more important things to do, but it sounds like he was not about to cure world hunger or anything. She met him in a bar. So, I, after 18 years, have just learned that I am not the biological son of my father. Turns out my mom and him knew it all along, as well as his parents. And this is the story. I don't plan on updating again, but I did want to let everyone know that things have improved. Comments: a deleted account quotes his mom saying, "What makes you think any of them are yours?" What the fuck? Swordfish2 responds to that saying, "Yeah, right. Sorry, OP, but your mom is a piece of work and through all this has somehow gotten away with everything." And finally, Jubilowski writes, "OP, despite your father giving you a damn heart attack and making you question your very future and saying that he wouldn't pay for your college, don't shy away from sitting down with him and having a drink with him when you're of age, or if that's good in your household. It sounds like that man went through one of the worst things imaginable, being cheated on. Then he accepts you into his life, and some 18 years later, your mother, in the heat of the moment, decides to open up the wound again and rub salt all over it." And as for me here at Woven Webs, no good deed goes unpunished. It sums this situation up perfectly. The man went to the end of the earth to hold his family together and do what he thought was the right thing, and some 18 years later, she's still rubbing his face in it. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments, and if you're enjoying the channel, hit that subscribe button. It certainly helps me out.